This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
I hear Sam Houston, who I knew nothing about.
And there he is, Arn Anderson. One of his first televised matches here in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling.
Yeah, it would have been one of the, maybe the second, could be the third, but I think maybe my second TV. But Sam, you know, I'm not sure how much experience he had at this point, but as you could see, you know, he got around that ring pretty good, pretty polished. And
he's the son of Grizzly Smith, the brother of Jake Roberts. They recently Vice did the Dark Side of the Ring documentary about the family. And I was going to ask you what your thoughts were working with Sam here.
You get a feel for a guy that's a veteran that has some experience pretty quickly in the ring. And I didn't know anything about him, hadn't seen him wrestle. But by now I figured out, okay, well, this is going to be a contest. So you learn to respect the guy right away, or not, depending on what he brings to the ring. And I knew that Sam brought some experience to the ring. So I knew I would have to stay on top of my game to win this match and stay on top of it. Here's a classic Anderson move, slam on the arm. And that had the sting, that's for sure.
As you're putting this match together, Arn, you know it's going to be on television. How important do you feel more pressure, kind of making sure that whatever you do in your facials, look at you walking around, classic heel style, the faces, looking at the crowd, back to the arm. Do you feel pressure as far as in terms of the importance level of making sure whatever you do, you put together something good that's going to come across well on television?
Well, pacing is everything, and it's not something you just do for TV. It's every match that you have. You don't get in a hurry. You don't rush. You don't do anything that's not going to give you the opportunity to look good. You know, the biggest mistake to this day that a wrestler can make is to rush and to hurry something when he doesn't necessarily have to. And, you know, that's how mistakes happen. That's how you lose your grip on a guy. That's how you lose control of a guy, is rushing. And that's what I tried not to do. Again, there's another slam on the arm.
Yes. You're doing the classic Anderson style wrestling where you have taken the body part, the arm in this case, and just picked it apart. And now, at least where I'm at watching it, you just got the victory. And he tapped out years before it was popular to tap out. Who came up with the finish, Arn?
Well, apparently he had no choice.
That's right.
He
wasn't getting anywhere there.
It's better, Paul, to quit and live another day with a career ahead of you than to show huge cojones and not tap out and get your arm popped out of place or your shoulder. So he made the right decision, and he would go on to fight another day. Now we have our friend Shivani back.
Were you happy with how that match went, Arn?
Absolutely.
Good.
You know, I was dominant, and I was supposed to be dominant, and I was. Sam made a fight out of it, but obviously that was the wrong day to catch me.
They're still kind of going through this angle here. They have the mic there with Tully still talking through it. Before we completely get away from your early match there, I do want to ask you, as you walk back through the curtain, you're done. Do you remember getting any advice or words when you came back through at the end of that match? Anything stand out to you in your memory after that match?
Not really. I mean, you know, I was the new guy in town in those days. A lot of guys weren't going to come up and encourage you too much, especially if they were positioned ahead of you at that point on the crew, because they didn't want to assist you in taking their spot, if that makes any sense.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it's competitive. It's a competitive environment. Everybody wants to get their time on TV, right?
Absolutely. And, you know, I mean, there were some guys that would be a mentor to you, but I think they got at that point that I was seasoned enough that I wasn't just some rookie, even though we being the industry, that up until about 4 or 5 year mark, you were still considered, you know, a rookie. You were getting it. You were picking it up. And at about the 4 or 5 year mark, you had gotten seasoned enough that you were no longer considered a rookie. You were a guy that could, you know, were working your way into being a veteran, could have a match under any circumstances. And got to remember, that's 300 plus matches a year.
Yeah.
versus what the schedule was following that and is today.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money, it's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.